Let's see. All right, we are live right now. Thank you everyone for joining us. Today it's just me and Renee,
Yep.
and we are expecting some other people to hop on, but right now it's just the two of us. And so today we want to just tell you how we got started and why we're so passionate about being public adjusters. Renee, why don't you go ahead and tell us your story?
Okay. Well, welcome. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I am Renee, and I am a licensed public adjuster. And how I got started was through, I would say, a little bit of homework and a lot of questions. So I had applied for a position as a public adjuster, but I had no idea what a public adjuster job would be, let alone I would be doing this 5 years into this. So I just enjoy working with the team that I have, and the fact that I am helping someone who really don't understand the insurance process. And I didn't even understand it myself. So I can imagine some of the people that were trying to get the help or assistance and got turned around all kind of ways. So I'm glad that I learned about it. I'm glad that I am working with some great people such as Kay, Ebahi, and some other folks, because they gave me a better insight into how I can do what I do and what I love to do, is to talk with homeowners about what they have in their policy. And Kay is a little bit more into it because she's doing two things. She's doing the field adjuster piece and the public adjuster piece, where I'm just doing this one little piece, but it's impacting the lives of so many homeowners. And a lot of times they'll say, "What's a public adjuster?" I said, "Funny you should ask me that question." And I'll just go and like, well, this is what we do. This is why we do it. And the fact that we know that a lot of homeowners have been burnt by insurance company, or they've been denied, or they've been canceled. And a lot of times we'll get that question: "Am I going to get canceled if I put a claim in?" I say, "You shouldn't." And I'm like, "Well, how many claims did you put in so far?" And that'll tell the tail sign of whether or not their policy will be canceled due to the amount of claims they have put in. So that's my answer, and I'm sticking with it. Go for it. Now I get to ask Kay how she got started and what is it that make you do what you do.
Well, for me, I got started because I was already in the insurance
Mm-hmm.
business, but I came upon this job description that was talking about negotiating with the insurance companies. I was thinking to myself, I didn't know you can negotiate your claims. I just thought that the insurance company came out and they made their assessment of the damages, and you take what they give you. But that's not the case at all. You definitely can negotiate the amount of damages in your home, and you can negotiate how much you should get paid. And most homeowners don't know that. They think that they just have to go by what the insurance company tells them, and definitely that is not the case. As as soon as I got in, I did go to take a little bit more education about the whole claims process. And definitely when I came out, it definitely opened up my eyes that there's definitely more than you just taking whatever the insurance company tells you. Um, what I'm learning right now is that insurance companies, they do their best to hold on to their money. It is in their best interest to hold their money, and yeah, they're taking premiums from you, but they don't want to pay what needs to be paid to bring your home back to pre-loss condition. Um, and you have to know how to negotiate with the insurance companies. But it takes more than just negotiation skills. You need to know. how to assess how much damage is in your home. And you're not going to know that if you're not an expert. If you're just a regular homeowner, you don't really know how much the extent of your damages is. You need to have an expert to come in to the steps and to know how to estimate those damages and to get the proper professionals involved, so that you can properly um, assess your damages. And if the insurance company is still stubborn, because we've we've had those claims where insurance companies are very stubborn, some of their denials are very difficult to overcome, and it's a lot of headache on the homeowner, especially when you start to move on with your life. You know, you have a job, you have a family, just things in your life that will continue to go on. Meanwhile, your home has suffered a loss, and if you don't hire the right professionals to come in and help you, um, I've seen where um, a disaster can just a disaster in the home could pretty much bankrupt a family. Um, when they don't have enough money to fix their house is going to get more damaged because the original damage was not taken care of. And it could be a domino effect.
Yep.
Um, Sometimes, uh, homeowners have to go into debt trying to um, repair their home. They've had to take a home equity. They've probably had to take out some money from retirement. Um, and with that, if you're having to take money out of retirement, that means you're having to pay taxes. So it's we're just here to let you know that we are here to help you with your home damages, to give you the proper estimate, to actually go through the necessary steps in order to negotiate the right amount in your claims, so that you can get that money to fix your house. It's not like we're trying to um, gouge the insurance company. We're not doing anything illegal. We are licensed by the state, and we do have to know the rules, the laws, in order to be able to negotiate that claim for you. A lot of times, homeowners, uh, they they try to get help from the wrong professionals. You can't get a contractor, you can't get a roofer uh, to negotiate your claim for you, because they have to be licensed as a public adjuster. It's against the law in every state to have a non-licensed person represent you. That person could get fined. If they're licensed somewhere else, they may lose their license, but mainly they'll get fined. And they don't know that, and they don't have the professional uh, skills to make that negotiation anyway. So if I were a homeowner and if I had known about a public adjuster, I would have just hired them immediately and get that claim open and going, because sometimes these negotiations could take, they're going to take more than the 2 weeks that you're used to. They could take a few months, sometimes a few years, I've
Yep.
seen, especially if they're large claims and the insurance company definitely does not want to pay. Sometimes it could take years. And even after that, um, we may have to get an attorney involved. But attorneys um, they will not take small claims, with wherein a public adjuster will. Um, we're not going to take like small little claims, but we'll take smaller claims than an attorney, and that's good for the homeowner, because you're not, you're not without help.
And that's a good thing, Kay. Is I experienced at least two claims myself as a homeowner and a public adjuster. And because at that time I wasn't aware of what you could do to help me out. And I was so glad that I did get the public adjuster involved because they took a lot of the weight off of my shoulder. I didn't have to contact the insurance company. I didn't have to write up the information. The claims adjuster did everything. I mean, the public adjuster did everything for me, and all I had to do was wait for the repairs to get approved, get estimates from the contractor, um, and just making sure that I was fairly being compensated for the amount of work that they were charging me to get done. So I really appreciate the fact that we've learned a lot as public adjusters, and we are always in training. We are always learning new and better ways to accommodate and to help out the homeowners. I mean, I don't know what else to say that would be negative for as a public adjuster because I've only experienced what we have done successfully in trying to make sure that the homeowners got paid more than what they thought they was going to get paid. And a lot of times we don't know. We can't tell you how much they're going to get paid. All we can do is write it up and put the information through the process.
Yeah, and that's where the field adjuster comes in, and they're the experts who get the estimate
Mm-hmm.
and start the negotiation process with the insurance company.
Yep.
Um, I think earlier you mentioned something, and I wanted to add, but I totally forgot what you said. Anyway, a lot of times we could help the homeowner, but if you don't have, I just want to bring up this point. If you don't have the proper coverages in your insurance policy to begin with, we can't add that post damage. You have to make sure that you have the proper coverages.
And on that note, a lot of times when we review policies with the homeowners, we let you know what you need to add into your policy. So if it does occur down the road, you'll have the coverage. So we don't want to wait to tell you that you need to put this in like yesterday because a lot of times you should have put it in like yesterday so that if something happened, example would be the pipe busting in the basement and you don't have that coverage. You can't blame the public adjuster. You can't blame actually the insurance company, even though they are the one that would pay on that claim for you. But a lot of times the agent don't know what you need to have in that policy. But with our experience, we have seen it over and over again, the difficulty in trying to let the homeowners be aware that if you don't have the coverage, the insurance company is not going to pay you.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because a lot of, I mean, I don't know if I could say a lot, but some homeowners they mainly shop by price. They have
Mm-hmm.
a price in their head that they feel like is fair to be paying monthly, annually for their homeowners insurance. And they tell the agent, I only want to pay this much, nothing more. So the agent, they sell by price. So they boast about saving their homeowners 15% in 15 minutes when really they are not the price setters for the insurance
Mm-hmm.
policy. It's the insurance company and um, whoever's on their team for setting the premiums. The agent has nothing to do with it. The only way the agent can save you money is if they take away your coverages. So they can meet your price that you have in your head. But just know this: if they're doing that, you need to ask your agent what's being taken away, what is not covered. And you want to make sure that you do have the coverages because you could save maybe $200, $500 a year. But when that disaster comes, you could be out 15 to $20,000 out of pocket. So is it worth it to save $200 to $500 a year when later on you're going to be out $15,000 to $20,000 out of pocket? I don't think so. I mean, like I know like my brother, he had a pipe burst in a bathroom upstairs in his house, and he told me like he had to argue with the insurance adjuster every step of the way, and he had to take out an equity. So I think they took out like 20 to 30 thousand dollars out of their home equity just to cover for what the insurance company refused to pay. And it's not as though he was enhancing his the look of his bathroom. No, he was just repairing everything that was needed to bring it back to pre-loss condition. And it was 20 or 30 thousand dollars out of pocket. I don't know if that was because he wasn't covered or if it was just the insurance company not refusing to pay. But I have seen homeowners who just didn't. I don't know if they just didn't have the interest to read all those pages, because I've seen policies go from 50 to 100 pages long. Who's going to read all that, right? And
Right.
so when they get the policy from the agent and they've got their papers, they say, okay, this is my policy. I'm covered. It's good enough. And they put it away. And I have a friend who did that. She couldn't even locate her policy when she had the disaster in her bathroom, uh, and she didn't have any idea who her insurance company was, and so she had to call um, the real
Mortgage company.
estate. No, she had to call the real estate agent who sold her the house to locate the insurance agent,
Mm,
because the real estate agent and the insurance agent were working together. And
mm,
so she had to call just to get the name of the insurance agent so she can get a copy of her policy because she couldn't locate it. Uh, it's a good thing that she was covered and we got her money. And, we filed the claim for her to begin with. And so we directed the narrative and we made the estimates, and she got a good amount of money to cover. Her losses, even after paying us a fee. She had enough to replace the damages, and she was really surprised. She was not expecting
mm-hmm.
that amount of money. Whereas, like, my brother's issue, he had no help. He was so frustrated, and they went into debt, having
Mm-hmm.
to pull out an equity to pay for their home, just to be repaired. I had a client in New Jersey where supposedly the insurance company made changes to their policy. And I think this was on the fault of the insurance company, but it was kind of hard to prove. They did, they had a sump pump. They had a sump pump in their basement. Um, but when they had the storm in 2021, it was during hurricane season. I forgot which hurricane it was. Uh, was it Ida?
It may
Anyway,
have been. I forgot too.
yeah. Anyway, um, their whole basement flooded up to 4 feet, and
Mm,
they lost a lot of stuff in their basement. And when they pulled out their policy, it turns out that whenever the insurance company had made changes to their policy, it was only supposed to add something, but what they forgot to do was to include the sump pump coverage.
covered.
Most people up in the north, I don't know about Virginia, but the sump pump policy or endorsement comes with the water backup, but it was taken away from their policy, and so we couldn't get their basement covered for, and it was very unfortunate. Um, I don't know how much money they lost, but it was definitely money out of pocket they had to pay for just to repair their basement. Because they did not have the sump pump endorsement, they did not look at their policy once the change had taken place.
Oh, wow.
And that's just you know um, in a way it is their fault because they didn't review their
Right.
coverages with that change. Even if you moved, or maybe you had to update um, something on your policy, it could be that the insurance company, whoever that person was who took your information, they might have just unclicked something,
Mm.
and things could have changed.
Yep.
So you want to make sure that if when there's ever a change, that you have everything that you're supposed to have um, is still on there, so that you are properly covered. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is, I know that insurance agents tell their homeowners, choose a higher deductible.
Mm.
Choose a higher deductible so your premiums can be smaller. Um, Sometimes it's just a difference of $100, if not less, per
Mm-hmm.
year. The reason why we as public adjusters don't advise choosing the higher deductibles is that um, when your damages don't equal or exceed your deductible, the insurance company does not have to pay a thing.
Yep.
A lot of times they will estimate your damages to be less than your deductible, so
Mm-hmm.
they wouldn't have to pay you a thing. And then you end up paying that money out of pocket. Is it really worth it for you to pay $100 less a year just so you can pay out of pocket all that money?
Crazy. And
Yeah.
we're talking about a lot of damage to a property, but if your deductible is so high, it's like you got to meet it before they even pay anything on it. And then we also got to share with the homeowners that you can't tell the insurance company everything.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
wind up defeating the purpose of having the insurance in the first place. So, for example, I had a client and his house was getting ready to sell. They were trying to put it up, listed, and all that. Well, they did. Come find out when the inspection time came, his house was separating from the other property because it was a road type house and it was attached. But as they're doing the home inspection, the inspector just happened to notice that his property was separating. Well, the agent, God got a lover, the agent that was listing the property had put, well, I put it like this. She had put in information to give to the insurance company when they found out that the property was separating. Not only did she give them information about the separation, she had an engineer come in. Everything that the engineer wrote up, she gave to the insurance company. Anything and everything about the property, paper wise, documentation, she gave to the insurance company. So the insurance company had so much information that they, in the midst of all that, they hung themselves and their claim got denied. Then they tried to call us in to get us involved, but it was too late because the insurance company had everything they needed to deny that claim. And every time we try to go and assist them with the situation, what was going on, the insurance company was waiting for us and they deny, because we couldn't even come around. We couldn't even go around the mulberry bush, come back. We went every kind of way we could try to get this claim paid, and the insurance company had so much information that it wasn't even worth trying to pursue it any longer. We just had to tell them that we couldn't get any money for it. They had just told them too much information and they gave them too much documentation. So it wound up screwing them up, and he said, if I knew what I knew right now, I would have gotten a public adjuster to assist. And I'm saying, yeah, but you didn't. And unfortunately, we can't help you because you gave up too much information to your insurance carrier, and it blew the deal. So,
Yeah, I mean, the more things you give the insurance company, they know how to twist it
yep,
to deny your claim,
yep,
and that's unfortunate on your part.
yep.
Um,
And so, what we always tell them in a lot of situations when we file claims for you on your behalf, we tell them, do not call the insurance company. Do not tell them anything. We will handle everything from the point that we got involved until the conclusion. And a lot of times, a lot of people just they want to be so helpful and they think they're helping us out, but they're hurting their own self when they start contacting the insurance company. Because every time you contact your insurance company and you ask them a question, they're going to consider it what, Kay?
they're going to consider it a claim
Yep, yep. And it works against you instead of for you, it
for
works
you.
against you.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. You're just giving the insurance company ammunition
Mm-hmm.
to work against you, and they
Yep,
will. They will.
yep.
Um, Even when I've seen where the claim is covered, but they'll use words that the insurance company can use against you, and your claim will be either denied or reduced. Uh,
Yep.
by saying my bathroom flooded, they'll use the word flood and say floods are not covered, and
Mm-hmm.
your claim will be denied. Although that's not it's not because your bathroom flooded. It was because water overflowed
Mm-hmm.
in your bathroom and caused the damages.
Yep.
So you have to know certain things not to say,
Yep.
uh, because not that we're trying to manipulate the insurance company. We're just trying to not use words that they can use
Against you.
against you.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Uh,
the other one is, okay, what's the other one? Oh, every time they turn that water on it leaks. And when you say every time, so how many times has it occurred?
yeah.
Oh, it happened all the time.
Yeah. The biggest One of the biggest excuses I've seen the insurance company use to deny claims is wear and tear.
Mm,
Um,
yep.
and it's hard to overcome that. Even though we know that it's a one-time occurrence, um, the insurance company will still say wear and tear,
Hmm.
and you have to know how to overcome that.
Yep.
Most of the time, it's best not to say a thing,
Yep.
and let someone else, the professional, represent you, and they'll know the right language to use. Um, I was gonna say, going back to that deductible, I've seen deductibles as high as $10,000.
Oh, we had one at 25,000. It
What?
was in New Jersey,
Uh huh.
and a tree fell on the property, but the woman had a $25,000 deductible.
Wow.
So, do you think that the insurance company was really happy because they didn't have to pay it?
Yeah. Wow. Um, I thought the 10,000 was a lot. I've never seen the 25.
25,000.
Yeah.
Wow. Mm,
So if you've got a deductible that has a percentage, get rid of it. You need
mm.
to call your agent to tell them I want just a fixed figure, either $500 or $1,000, maybe 2,000, 2,500. You want to try to get it as low as possible,
And
um,
why? Why do you not want a percentage, Kay? Tell
because
us.
as time goes by and the value of your home goes up, the
Mm-hmm.
percentage will
See?
also go up.
Yep.
And I've seen some that are $4,000, $5,000
Mm-hmm.
for a deductible. And
Yep.
if your damage is even a dollar less, they're still not going to pay.
Yep.
Yeah. So just be careful on those type of things on your policy. And some people will know how to look for those things in their policy, others will not. But I would say, um, just give us a call
Yep.
and we'll review your policy for you for free.
Yep.
Uh, we consult with you for free. We can review your policy. We're not selling any insurance to
Nope.
you, so we'll tell you to go back to your insurance agent and add those things. Make sure that you have that added. Um, One thing that most homeowners don't know about is uh, government ordinances, which is
Mm-hmm.
code regulations. If you don't have that in your policy, and you don't,
And
if
your
you don't
property is
have that,
20 or more years old, you
yeah,
definitely should have it.
if there's ever a disaster in your home, if you don't have that coverage, you're going to be out of pocket for the difference. The insurance company is only going to pay. Let's say you bought a house 50 years ago, and you don't have that government ordinance code regulation on your policy. The insurance company is only going to pay whatever you had 50 years ago. And if the cost had increased by $10 per
Hmm.
nail or whatever, um, you're going to be out that money. Uh,
Hmm.
sometimes it's thousands of dollars.
Yep.
And I don't think that, I'm not sure how much it is to add that endorsement to your policy.
It's not that expensive. It would be worth it because in the long run, like Kay said, it's going to be expensive on your end versus if the insurance company picked up that cost and paid it from the
Mhm.
claim. So yeah, that's a good one. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, you have to just let go of shopping by price for insurance,
Hmm.
because the insurance agent does not have some magical wand that can just fix your price for you. They're taking away your coverages, um, and we've seen it all, and we can help homeowners as much as we can, but we can't magically give them that coverage if they don't have that in their policy to begin with at the time of the disaster. You want to consult a public adjuster.
Yep.
We don't have any stake in the claim to begin with for your policy. So, we're a non interested third party, just giving you advice on
Yep.
your policy to make sure that you have the right coverages. Um,
And one of the things that I definitely want to remind everyone, please get homeowners insurance. I had an elderly couple who had a house and it caught on fire and they did not have any insurance to cover the damages. So they had to stay with someone and use money of their own some kind of way that they probably were saving up because they were retired and now they are getting their house rebuilt but at a cost to them instead of if they had insurance that probably would have covered for their property to get rebuilt. So you just
oh,
got to think about that.
yeah, another thing is being underinsured. Let's
Mm-hmm.
say you bought a house 20 years ago and it was worth 100,000, but now it's worth 300,000. But your insurance agent just never got back with you about um, changing the value of your home. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
of course, the premium will go up, but if they never changed it and um, something were to happen, the most you could get is $100,000
Mm-hmm.
when everything else has gone up. The price of building materials gone up. The
That's
price of
right.
contractors have gone up, um, and you're paying $200,000 out of pocket. So you want to make sure that you are checking with your insurance agent at least once a year to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that uh, everything is right, to make sure you are properly covered. Do not be underinsured. I had someone who was told, I guess, in order to qualify to buy his house, just to get the bare minimum for his homeowner's insurance, and he only had 2 months worth of additional living expense,
Mm.
and it took him, I think, 6 months to find us, and he had been living out of his car for 4 months because
Mm.
his additional living expense, which is an added benefit for your homeowner's insurance. If if your whole house burned down, you can't live in there anymore.
Mm.
Um, you want to make sure that you have an adequate amount um, to help you find temporary living, uh, so that you're not living in your car. Um,
Yep.
yeah, he only had enough for 2 months. His insurance agent didn't explain to him that, um, if you're staying in a hotel and it's going to cost $150 a night, that's not a good idea, because your additional living expense, sometimes there's an amount that you're given, and if you exceed that amount, they won't pay anymore. But sometimes some policies give you a time limit, like up to 24 months, up to
Mm-hmm.
12 months, up to
Mm-hmm.
6 months. So you want to make sure that you know what you have. But like, this homeowner didn't understand that he only had a small amount. I think he had like $20,000, and
Mm.
in 2 months that money was gone.
Yep.
I don't even know if he had 20,000, maybe just 10, because I can't
Wow.
imagine that money being gone in 2 months. And he had to live in his car.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to make sure that, sometimes I've seen it go as quick as maybe 6 months, but sometimes you need to be prepared for 9 months, a year. And
Especially when you have kids.
yeah, you need to make sure that
Mm-hmm.
you have additional living expense, to cover for that time. Otherwise, you better hope you have family or friends that will take you in for that amount of time,
Yep.
um, because that can run out too.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that's about it. I don't know about any of the coverages that I think you would need to have.
This was
Um,
good. I think this is a help. And like Kay said, if you need our services, we are here to help.
yes, definitely. It doesn't cost you anything. Maybe just 20, 30 minutes of your time to have us
Mhm.
review your policy with you,
Yep.
to make sure that you are properly covered.
Yep.
So that whenever a disaster happens, you're not having to go through hardships
Yes.
because you didn't have the proper coverages.
Yes.
So, anyway, thank you everyone for joining us in this session. We're just talking about, how a public adjuster can help you, with your home damages.
And we
And
will continue to be here with every Wednesday at 7 o'clock, so you can join us for a chat.
mhm. All right, thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.